Most people believe something strange about cats. They believe cats are distant, independent, even emotionally cold. The common story says that cats tolerate humans because we open the food can and provide a warm place to sleep. But anyone who has spent enough time around cats eventually notices something different. Some cats follow their owners from room to room. Some sit quietly nearby while their human works. Some sleep beside them every single night. And the interesting part is this: cats do not give that kind of trust easily. Unlike dogs, cats are solitary hunters by nature. Their nervous system is built around caution. Safety for them is not automatic. It is something that must be earned. Which means that when a cat forms a deep bond with a human, something specific usually happened in that relationship. Certain daily behaviors signal to the cat's brain that this human is safe. But here is the part most people miss. Those same behaviors also reveal something important about the human. Because the people who naturally build strong bonds with cats often share a similar psychological profile. They are patient, observant, and emotionally attuned in ways that many people are not. In other words, the way someone treats their cat can quietly reveal a lot about how their mind works. Here are 7 small things people do that not only strengthen trust with a cat, but also say something deeper about their personality. 1. They use the slow blink. If you watch cats carefully, you will notice something interesting. When two cats trust each other, they do not stare with wide eyes. Instead, they slowly close their eyes and soften their gaze. Researchers from the University of Sussex observed that cats are significantly more likely to approach humans who slowly blink at them rather than stare directly. To a cat's brain, a slow blink signals safety, but the people who instinctively do this often share a psychological trait called emotional attunement. They pay attention to subtle signals, they read body language, they adjust their behavior instead of forcing interaction. In human relationships, these are the same people who notice small emotional shifts in a room before anyone else does. They are comfortable with quiet communication, and cats, more than almost any other animal, respond strongly to that kind of calm awareness. 2. They offer their hand. Instead of forcing contact, many people walk up to a cat and immediately try to pet it. They reach over the head or pick the cat up without warning. To a human, that gesture feels affectionate. But to a cat, a large object moving from above can resemble a predator. People who build strong relationships with cats usually do something different. They extend their hand slowly at the cat's nose level and wait. They allow the cat to decide whether the interaction happens. This behavior reflects something psychologists call respect for agency. In other words, they do not assume immediate access to another being. They allow the other side to choose. People with this tendency often show the same pattern in human relationships. They are less controlling, less intrusive, more patient. And that kind of calm, respectful presence is exactly what allows cautious animals like cats to feel safe. 3. They let the cat mark them. When a cat rubs its head against your leg or your hand, most people simply think the cat is being affectionate. But biologically, something more complex is happening. Cats have scent glands around their cheeks and forehead. When they rub against you, they are depositing pheromones that mark you as part of their social territory. In the cat's world, scent defines familiarity and safety. People who form strong bonds with cats usually allow this behavior freely. They do not push the cat away. They let the animal move around them, brushing against their legs or hands. Psychologically, this often reflects a personality trait known as relational openness. These individuals are comfortable sharing space. They are less rigid about control over their environment. Instead of constantly shaping the world around them, they allow relationships to shape the environment as well. To a territorial animal like a cat, that kind of flexibility feels reassuring. 4. They can sit quietly in the same room. Many humans believe that affection must always involve action. Talking, petting, calling the animal over. But cats often show trust in a quieter way. In nature, bonded cats frequently share space without directly interacting. They simply exist near each other while remaining relaxed. Ethologists call this parallel presence. People who connect well with cats tend to understand this instinctively. They can sit in the same room, reading, working, or relaxing, without constantly trying to engage the cat. This behavior reveals a psychological trait that is becoming increasingly rare: comfort with silence. These individuals do not feel the need to fill every moment with stimulation or attention. They are able to exist calmly beside another living being. And for animals that evolve to detect tension in their surroundings, that quiet stability becomes a powerful signal of safety. 5. They provide high places. Cats feel safer when they can observe their environment from above. In the wild, elevation allows a cat to monitor territory and avoid threats. The instinct remains strong even in indoor environments. People who understand cats often provide vertical territory such as shelves, cat trees, or window perches. At first glance, this might look like a simple environmental adjustment, but psychologically it often reflects something deeper. People who create these environments tend to be observant problem solvers. Instead of trying to control behavior, they modify the environment to match natural instincts. This mindset appears in many areas of life. Rather than forcing outcomes through authority, they design conditions that allow the right behavior to emerge naturally. Cats respond extremely well to this approach, because for a territorial animal, feeling in control of space is the foundation of trust. 6. They play in a way that completes the hunting cycle. Cats are biologically wired for a sequence of actions: hunt, catch, eat, groom, and sleep. Indoor life often interrupts this natural pattern. Food appears without effort, while energy builds without release. People who build strong relationships with their cats often reintroduce the missing part of the cycle. They play with wand toys or moving objects that mimic prey. They allow the cat to stalk, chase, and eventually catch the toy. This behavior does more than burn energy. It shows an understanding of instinct. Psychologically, people who naturally do this tend to think in systems. They do not see behavior in isolation. They look at the entire biological context. And when a cat experiences the full hunting sequence, the brain releases dopamine and other reward chemicals that create a deep sense of satisfaction. Over time, the cat associates that fulfillment with the person who provided it. 7. They create calm, predictable routines. Cats are extremely sensitive to environmental stability. Sudden changes in energy, noise, or routine can activate stress responses. People who build strong trust with cats often maintain calm, predictable habits. They enter rooms without sudden movements. They avoid loud emotional reactions. They move through the home in a steady, consistent way. This pattern reflects a personality trait known as emotional regulation. These individuals tend to manage their internal state well. Their moods are less chaotic and more stable. Animals notice this immediately. To a cat's nervous system, a calm and predictable human becomes part of the safe structure of the territory. And over time, that predictability builds deep trust. The real meaning behind these habits. At first glance, these 7 behaviors may look like simple cat care, but together they reveal something interesting about the humans who practice them. They are patient. They notice subtle signals. They respect boundaries. They create stability rather than chaos. These are the same psychological qualities that often lead to strong relationships with people as well. Cats simply make those traits visible. Because unlike many humans, cats do not respond to loud gestures or forced affection. They respond to quiet consistency. When a cat sits beside someone day after day, it is not a coincidence. It is the result of hundreds of small signals that say the same thing over and over again. You are safe here. And the people who naturally create that kind of safety usually carry the same calm presence into the rest of their lives. The way someone treats their cat may seem like a small detail, but sometimes the smallest habits reveal the most about how a person sees the world. And cautious animals like cats notice those details long before most humans do. If this made you look at cats and their owners a little differently, there is another fascinating question many people ask. Why do cats stare at you while you sleep? The psychology behind that behavior is even stranger than most people expect, and we will explore it in the next video.